Thank you to Tomtoc for sponsoring this episode. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Uncle Geeb Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Host Media Gaming. Record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch our video podcast over on youtube.com/DripGeeb. Drip. Tonight is a fun episode. We're going to talk about Switch 2 Pro, whatever you want to call it. It's just a name at this point. It'll be a real product.
Switch 2.
Hopefully soon. We don't know when, but hopefully soon. But Drip,
maybe.
Before we get there, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I got some new furniture on the back porch. Very excited about that. I've been sitting out there. It's like hazy though. All the smoke and stuff coming from Canada. Dude, it's wild.
Oh yeah. It's better for us today. I think it's starting to blow your direction.
Yeah. I know the next 2 days are going to be even worse. Alexa was like, oh, I said her name. She's going to hear me. She was giving me warnings this morning, like, don't go outside. Don't go outside. I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna, but that's scary.
So yeah, like my Google phone here tells me near my weather widget, like when there's like little warnings, like thunderstorms or something like that, and it's gone right. It's gone right now. It seems maybe it's actually gone for reals, but it tells you like, oh, there's an air warning, and like it tells you like I think like high air pollution would be like 100%. The other day it was like 260.
Yeah, I'm at 168 right now.
Yeah, that's similar to what we were today. But that other day was like over 2.
Yeah.
And I was
yesterday was way worse. Remember, I sent you the map yesterday. I was like, look at this, man. This is crazy.
It wasn't as bad. Like visually, it was not as bad as what they were saying, what you could see from like what New York was experiencing, your Philly area, my smoke, yellowish, orangish, fog. For us, it just looked like, I was joking with Abby on our walk, which we should not have been doing that on that day, but I was like, we have to get some exercise. I was like, it looks like when somebody's like, oh, somebody close by is having a fire. That's what it looked like. But like everywhere,
it just looked like morning fog. It wasn't morning anymore. Just the fog just stayed all day. It's really weird.
Was really weird to see it. Like I was telling Abby how weird it was to see this fog. Like, but it wasn't fog. It was smoke, and it was so weird. It was so weird to see the smoke because I associate that with like bonfires. And I'm like, I guess Canada is having a bonfire, an unpleasant one.
Today it didn't smell as bad, but yesterday it smelled. You know when you plug in a hot glue gun?
Yeah.
That's what it smelled like outside. I was like, dude, this is.
I didn't get that.
It's bad, dude.
I didn't get that at all.
Bad. Yeah, I mean it was smelling really bad yesterday, but yeah. Other than that, furniture's out there. I just kind of sucked it up. I was like, you know what? It may smell really funny out here, but I do like this chair. It's a cool chair, so I just sat out there anyway.
Yeah, man. Well, let's get to our beer of the week real fast. Drip, I always let you go first because you always have better stuff to say here. But we're speaking of which, we're bringing back beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
Just to mention that real fast. And, it's a little segment. If you haven't been around for a while, we'll just let you know what's going on. It's just like we just share our beverage, whether it's a beer, anything alcoholic or non-alcoholic, just whatever you're drinking, you can share with us. You go to our Twitter and go ahead and every week we'll do a listener beer of the week. We'll just use the hashtag beer of the week and @DripGeeb on Twitter. And if we got some good submissions, or if any really, we'll share them on the podcast after Drip and I share our beers. So Drip, what are you drinking this week, man?
I have a Samuel Adams Summer Ale, citrus wheat ale. I mean, there's not a lot to. It's a nice beer, summer beer. Not a lot to tell about it. It's lemony.
Love that little lemony.
Refreshing. 5.3 alcohol. Oh man, I haven't had one of these in a while. That is very good. It's not too lemony either. It's nice and chill. Yeah. It's very good. Really like
I do enjoy those. I got something. I've had it recently on the podcast. What do we got? What's the name of it? Tropical Beer Hug. It was a few weeks ago actually. I had.
Oh yes, I remember
on the pre-show.
It's an Imperial Hug.
It's an Imperial IPA. It's around 9.9%, so it's gonna F me up a little bit if I keep drinking it with no food. There is a squashed bug on it. Where are these squashed bugs coming from?
The bugs are real. There's so many bugs there.
I'm not going to open and drink it. I'm sorry. It's on the lip part. I'm not touching that right now. But I don't know where these bugs are coming from. They're like dive bombing on my table right now. I apologize to ruin the beer of the week with that. But yes, again, I'll just reiterate. Right. Share your bug smashed beer of the week with us on Twitter @DripGeeb. Use the hashtag. What is our hashtag? Beer of the week. That's what it is.
Yeah.
These bugs are throwing me off my game, man. They're everywhere. The last few days, they're everywhere. Like they look weird. Some of them look weird. They're fat and meaty. They stink when you. I hate. Anyway,
Are they stink bugs?
no, oh no. I know what a stink bug is. These are
They're
not
just
stink.
weird stinky
They were, and
bugs.
they're weird, man. They're just weird. I don't know what
That is
I saw
very
them
weird.
outside too. Anyway, hashtag beer of the week. Drip Jeep on Twitter. Let's get with the episode. Drip. This week we got an investors. Actually, it was last week. Was it not? The investors meeting from Nintendo.
Yes.
And they talked about stuff, and they talked about it in Japanese. So it's the reports out there. It's just in Japanese, and I think we're slowly getting translations right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot more should have come out of this already, and I haven't really looked all that deep to find more. But I mean, the big takeaways, the one I made a video about, which is interesting. It turns out we actually already knew this. They've already talked about this like a year ago, but we did get confirmation again the other day that they will be taking our Nintendo Switch accounts and moving those over to the next system.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I mean, I guess we did know that already. I totally forgot that they talked about this like about the same time last year.
Yeah.
But what was the quote? It was, as for the transition from Nintendo Switch to the next generation machine, we want to do as much as possible in order to smoothly transition our customers while utilizing the Nintendo account. So that's interesting. That's all that was said. That's all that was said.
Are you surprised by that? Are you surprised?
No. I mean, they're not going to go any further into it. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that we even got that. I forgot they said it last year, but that even surprised me. But that is good, because if you go back, and I talked about this in the video, but if you go back, this is not what Nintendo used to do. Like, everything you did on the Wii was on the Wii. Like, okay,
Right.
you can take your Wii games and put them in the disc for the Wii U, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think digital, like, nothing. You can't do it. And now, especially Wii U to Switch, doesn't matter if it's digital or not, none of it went over. You just started over.
That's right.
And it's something Xbox and PlayStation have done for a while.
Yes.
These accounts where it's just been like a thing. It is good to see Nintendo actually using that and going forward with that. That makes me rest a little more easy, knowing that at least something, like I what's all connected to our account.
We have our games.
Obviously, yeah, we'll get there. Obviously, the games. That's the big question, and we'll get there.
There's nothing else to connect.
I mean, the online, our family,
our gamer tag, if you will, but there's not really a gamer tag.
Yeah,
it's just,
there's not.
There's no gamer tag. The account itself is the gamer tag, if that makes any sense. As long as you're logged into your account, then you can use your account and all of your settings, like your game. What's the word I'm looking for? The progress of game. Like in Splatoon, if you're level 45, you sign in on this other Switch, then you're also level 45 there.
If we can play Splatoon 3 on the other Switch, that is.
Yeah.
Okay. But something else that does go with it. This isn't a huge one, but it is kind of nice. I bet, obviously, the friends list. We don't have to do that all over again.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, if you guys have had a gamer tag in your life or the Sony equivalent, it's just
Xbox,
that.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's just that you just don't get a gamer tag. You get a code associated with your account. I actually think it's much more efficient than gamer tags, because there's gamer tags. There's room for error, mistakes, and like you maybe even choosing the wrong person because it looks the same.
Or if you change it,
the way Nintendo does it. You can change your name. You can change as many times as you want. That's what's really nice. Gamer tags, they make you pay for it. At least they used to with Xbox. That was always a bummer.
I think they still do.
Yeah, that's lame. Nintendo's like, you can do whatever you want whenever you want, as long. But this code is what you're going to send to your friends, what your friends are going to find you for, how they're going to find you, and it's in my opinion, I played on Steam a lot. I've played on Xbox a lot. Can't speak for Sony, but as far as those two, this is beyond the best system I was even expecting to talk about this tonight, but this is beyond the best experience for gamers that I've experienced. Like the code, here's the code, type it in, good to go. There's no room for errors or capitalization mistakes, nothing. Just here's a set of numbers, type the set of numbers in, and you're good to go. You're linking up with your friends. And so that's what's going to move. Good. That code will move over to the Switch 2, it sounds like.
Yeah. And I mean, our online stuff. So, I mean, I guess the online subscription just stays the same. We just have the online, all those games that we're paying for with the online account. Yeah. We know those are all going now too, probably, right? I would imagine.
Anything associated with your account, as far as I know, until they tell us otherwise, anything associated to your Nintendo account in terms of the Nintendo Switch will be switched over.
Then the question is, because there's one left that we haven't talked about here, and that's the big one. The games, all the games, all my digital games. You know how many digital games I have. Every one of them is digital.
See, like for me, I am making the assumption that when they say your account is moved over, I'm making the assumption that that also means your game purchases.
I feel like that too.
The question is not necessarily will my games move over. The question is the Switch 2, we'll just call it, backwards compatible in every sense. Now, it would be kind of weird, I think. It would be kind of weird to be able to play your Nintendo Switch games digitally on your Nintendo Switch 2, but not be able to throw your cartridge in as well. That would be like a slap in the face to anybody who bought a cartridge.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, that'd be nuts.
So there's no way that they're doing one or the other. It's both
yeah,
or none.
It's one, yeah. It's
and
all
if they're moving the accounts over, to me, that what they're telling us without telling us, because they like to do that for some stupid reason, they're telling us your games, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible.
I think so too. I mean, obviously we don't have that wording, but seeing this, just them say the general thing, like the Nintendo accounts are moving over.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you would assume everything tied with them goes to. So I mean, they don't say it, but I mean, I don't know. It looks good at this point. It looks good. We're getting so much news now, man. I feel like this thing's coming so soon. I don't think it is, but everything we're getting now, it's like,
well, it's within a year, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
We're going. I mean, I think by let's just say 18 months from right now, it's coming. I mean, it will be here within 18 months.
I think that's
that 18 months is going to feel real quick, because let's say maximum 12 months from now, we're 11 months from now, we're gonna get an announcement of this, like at worst case.
Yeah. Well, okay, and we're gonna talk about that later. I have not told anybody about this, but I have three scenarios here that I've made up. 3 made up scenarios. We're gonna go over this later in the podcast, but there are 3 different times that the Switch could come out, and we're gonna go over each scenario. And you guys in the chat here, you can let us know what you think too. Which one's the most probable of the 3?
Yeah.
One of them's not probable at all, but it'd be nuts. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we're going to see this thing sometime soon. But another thing they talked about at the investors meeting, more great news. When the original Switch came out, and obviously the Series S and X, and the PlayStation 5, and just about everything else that's come out over the past 5, 6, 7 years, scalpers get their hands on it, and it's impossible to find at retail, and that sucks.
It sucks big time, man.
That's a terrible thing, and it happened with. I mean, my God, it happened with the Switch over the pandemic a ton, right? You had to buy your first Switch.
Our first Switch was a Switch Lite we found at Walmart, but at the time, the Switch Lites were a little easier to find in person than possible online, but in person they were a little easier. It was the regular Switches at the time. We didn't even have, or we did have V2 Switches. That was dumb. We did have V2 Switches at that time, but they were impossible to find, and or V1s for that matter. They're both impossible to find. So we actually had to go on eBay. I don't regret it now. It ended up it ended up pushing my business to where it is now. But like we bought a V1 Switch for $435 plus tax. Oh no, wait, that was including tax, so it wasn't quite that bad. But $430 with tax for a V1 Switch in the time where there were V2s out there. Worst battery life. That's. I don't regret it now, but I mean, if I was a consumer and it didn't push my business, which wasn't making the purchase, I'm thinking it would be a business thing. I wanted to get through the pandemic without going insane. I wanted a gaming console. But yeah, I don't regret it, but damn, that was a lot of money. And that whole situation, the searching for it was just painstaking. And if Nintendo could do something to remedy that, I think we're in good hands.
They say that they are going to do that. That's also something they said, that they are going to address that head on. I would imagine that means more stock. I mean, that's really the only way you can do it.
That will change nothing. The scalpers buy 70 of them.
Well, they won't be able to. These places aren't going to let them buy that many. So the problem is, I know when the Switch came out, I believe, I could be wrong, but I looked into this a little bit the other day when they were talking about this. I believe at launch, they had 2 million original Switch units ready to go, which wasn't nearly enough. They upped production. They talked about it all that year. They kept up in production. They got them out. They did what they needed to do. They were hard to get at first. So, I mean, with a Switch 2, but let's think about this. Like, how many do you think they would need to make the supply just there? Like, it doesn't matter.
I don't even know if I want to entertain this conversation because there are you can't limit somebody, because if somebody who knows what they're doing with bots, not scalpers who are just like a Joe Schmo, right, who's just buying consoles when he sees them or when he can get the hands on online. Well, we're talking about people who have computer knowledge and like using these bots.
I know, but a lot of these sites
using
are
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how they do it, but like I'm assuming like with like virtual machines on one computer and having many accounts. If there's a 2 console limit or even one, you just got to make 50 accounts, 50 virtual machines,
but
and boom, you can buy 50 in a second.
They've already figured out a lot of these sites. All they have to do is they can figure out who's buying these things and shipping them. I mean, they can do it. They've gotten around the bot thing before.
Can they? I have not seen. I've not heard anything about that.
Yeah, they can. There's sites that have completely canceled giant orders.
Can we say that about the 64 controller? Can we say about that?
That is Nintendo. That's Nintendo themselves.
This guy, the Zelda controller, the collector's edition, because those things are never in stock. The amiibos. I have a hard time believing that's true when this day we have a hard time seeing such simple things like a freaking controller variation.
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you it's true.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying I don't know if you have credible sources.
I do. I've seen it happen 100 times. I used to do the shoe thing too, because people used to try to get more pairs of shoes to resell them too.
Yeah,
and they try to use bots. And sometimes people would get caught with the bots. But I mean, it's I don't know. There's ways they can do it. And that's the thing. You can buy 70 of them. Let's say instead of having 2 million at launch, they've got 4 million or 5 million at launch.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Keep buying them. With that many, they're still going to be out there on the shelf. And that's the thing. People are going to be like, I don't want to try to do this because they're still out here. Like, now I'm stuck with this, because that's the thing too. When they know that they're putting them out and their production is going to be high numbers, it kind of makes them not want to even try to do it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's a different story when you look at like a Supreme drop or like some Jordan 1s that are like limited. Like, know they're limited.
And I was going to say this too, like with the PS5 and Xbox Series X in particular, those were using parts that were of high demand and low supply.
Yeah.
Due to the market. The Switch 2 is not going to have parts, I would imagine, that are like as in desire as like parts with modern day hardware like the PS5 and Xbox.
I mean, I don't know what it's going to have, but we're not even in that. That's the thing too.
Well, I'm saying we can take that very variable out of the equation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because we're not even in that era anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a little bit of a parts issue, but it's not what it was then. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We can totally take that part out of it. So if they can actually do this and there's just Switch 2s that's going to be great.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be good for everybody. I mean, except scalpers, but fuck scalpers.
Fuck scalpers. It's so slimy.
I hate it. It drives me crazy.
And like, if you're somebody, I have bought things and then sold them at a later date at a higher price. I've done a couple things.
Okay, but I'm saying you don't buy 100 of them or 10 of them.
I was going to make the point is that like I'm doing it from like a consumer standpoint where I'm just like, all right, I need money right now and I don't need this. And I know I bought it just a few months ago for this price. It's great that it's gone up in price. Let me sell for a couple dollars. And I'm actually great because I don't even sell it at like what they sell. I'm like, all right, if the market's 40, I bought it for 20, I'm gonna sell for 30, and then it's gonna sell immediately. I'll get my cash. I'll break, because eBay fees and stuff. I'll break even. I don't make any money off it. I just break even.
Should I upset everybody right now? I'm gonna. I actually just sold something. Actually, I traded a guy.
Oh yeah,
something.
Did you do it? You did it.
I did it. Yeah, I have it. I needed a second PS5. I wanted the PS5.
You did not need it. You did not need one. You wanted one, and I can't believe you traded that for what you're about to say.
So I got a PS5, not the digital. I already have a digital one, but I got a PS5 with the disc drive and 2 controllers and 5 games. and I traded him my Hylian
like $700
Shield
worth of
2DS.
value. Like $700 worth of value, we'll say.
I traded him my Hylian Shield 2DS.
$600 of value. You traded for a 2DS.
Yeah, I gave him the 2DS.
Hylian Shield Edition.
Yeah.
2DS.
I still think he probably still got the better deal. It's scratched up on the back though, and it doesn't have the box. New, they're like $1,600, but I looked online before I made the deal. Like $500 to $700 was kind of where I saw the prices, and I was like, I don't play this thing, man.
He'll list it for $650. He'll list it for $700.
Yeah, and he'll make a little profit. He probably traded this thing for something else, but it's like, cool. Now I don't have to cart my PlayStation 5 upstairs and downstairs every time I want to watch or play, Fortnite in bed. It's cool because I'm definitely not playing Fortnite on the Switch. That's for damn sure.
Switch.
Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
If you're playing in bed, that's what you do. That's what the Switch is for. It's not the best experience, but that's not the point. You're in bed. You don't need the best experience. Now I have
the best experience. Now I have it. And I have my little media remote up there, so I can
First world, Van. First world.
I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. I'm glad I did it. But yes, looks like Nintendo's going to try to deal with the stock issue. That's fantastic. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. I hope it works out because I want everybody to be able to get a Switch too if they want one.
Well, Jerome, I think it's that time. Is it not that time?
It is that time.
It's that time for today's sponsor. Guys, this podcast episode today is sponsored by Tomtoc, in particular, the new FancyCase series of slim cases. Yes. They feature the normal joystick protection, the military protection, level protection. We got YKK zippers over here, water repellents, and this is actually right here in my hand. Drip, you want to show yours too?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Zelda. Yeah, we got the Zelda-inspired design as well. This thing is
sick.
just,
they're so
it's
sick.
just absolutely sick. And it fits with my gear. I mean, I got the collector's edition. I got the Zelda controller. We got the Zelda Switch inside of the Zelda case. It fits with everything over there, and it just looks just darn plain awesome, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And that's the thing. Tomtoc. All you guys know, I've been using Tomtoc stuff for what, 4 years. I've been doing videos with them. They sponsor some of my stuff, but even if they weren't a sponsor, this is the stuff I use. YKK zippers. This stuff is built. It's built to last. The fabrics they use, everything about it's so nice. I mean, I have Tomtoc for my Switch. I got Tomtoc for my Steam Deck. I have a Tomtoc case on my iPad. I literally use Tomtoc everything. I love their stuff. I got a backpack. It looks great. It lasts. I mean, it's to me, it's the best case you can get for your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, for sure, man. You can get this Tomtoc Fancy Series case over on our in our affiliate links down below. We have a US affiliate link. We also have a UK regular link. You can also, guys, register your gear if you get a Tomtoc case. It comes with a number, I believe, somewhere inside. I lost mine. My video, we'll talk about that when it comes out later. I lost my thing, but don't lose yours. Make sure to register your products. The link is down below as well for that in the description of this podcast. Thank you, Tomtoc, for sponsoring this episode. RIP.
Yes.
Activision guys said something. They said naughty words, things they should not say.
No, they didn't. They said beautiful things.
They said naughty things in a legal setting.
Dirty to me
in a legal setting.
Woo! I love that. I loved what they said. So we don't know. I want to start before we get into this stuff because this is some juicy shit, dude.
Yes.
This is awesome. If this is real, this is awesome. But I do want to say, before we even get into this, there's been some backtracking. There's been a little bit of maybe this or maybe that, not quite what we think we know possibly, but it could just be a cover-up.
Yeah.
So basically, it was emails between Activision, Nintendo. So they were talking about this and that and whatever. But
exactly that. This and that and whatever.
This and that and whatever is what they were talking about. A little bit of whatnot.
A little bit of Monica
in
my life.
Oh man, Mambo number 5. We're not even going there.
Okay, sorry. We're not sponsored by Mambo number 5. Wish you were though.
So the biggest thing, basically, just to simplify this, so we can have a conversation about it. Basically, what was said in these emails back and forth was that the Switch 2 would be Gen 8 equivalent as far as graphics go and power. So we're talking PlayStation 4. We're talking Xbox One in the palm of your hand, a handheld that will run maybe under, but on pace with that.
Yeah.
And I do want to point out, Geeb yelled at me for something like that. I don't know how many.
I wish you didn't point out because I gotta remember. I don't even remember what my reason was why I
want
yelled
to
at
find
you.
out too. Anybody who's watching this back after the fact, if you go back and find it and put it in the comments, I want to know. But he
in the
did
comments
tell me,
or tweet us a video link of the timestamps, whatever.
I don't know what it was, but anyway, dude, that's gonna be crazy. That's all I want. Like, I don't care about whatever. I don't care about PS5 handheld, anything. I don't need that. I don't need 4K. I don't need 8K. I don't need all that. If you give me the power of a PlayStation 4, even a base PlayStation 4 in my hand with Mario and Zelda on it, I mean, dude, that's it. I don't need anything else. I honestly don't.
Yeah. I mean, let's start with there's kind of multiple points here that we should hit, but let's start with let's just for funsies, let's make an assumption here that that's what's coming next, right? Okay.
Yeah, and we don't know for sure.
Or let's do this. Do we think that's is this credible? Is this what we're getting? Is it really possible to have a PS4 in your hands in 2023 for the price range Nintendo tries to hit?
I think it is.
Or does this mean the Switch 2 is going to be more expensive, and the Switch 1, the one we have right now, the OLED, essentially, is we're adding to the family, right?
Ooh,
so
yeah.
Are we getting a PS4 2 Switch that's $19.99, and then the OLED is $35.99. You got the OG Switch sticking around, V2 Switch for $300. We got the Switch original the Switch Lite for $199. I mean, is that what where do we, is this a replacement? What?
That's
what is this? What are we looking at? There's so many questions. This gives us more questions than answers, I feel, honestly.
Well, we did say this last week, actually. We said that we talked about this last week when Zach was here. I think he asked us what our thoughts were on what this thing will be. And you and I have both talked about things this is going to be a member of the family, probably. This will be the new one.
I would think so. I would think so.
And I think that's the way they're going to go. That makes more sense, especially, like I said, the way that the language has been coming from Nintendo, the Switch family. They've been talking about the Switch family since 2017 to their investors. That's where this wording has come from, too. From things translated from investors' meetings. I mean, they've said it other places, too. But I think it makes sense, yeah. If this is, maybe we still are actually getting the Switch Pro. The Switch 2 is the Switch Pro. Maybe it's not a bunch of new features and a totally different thing. Maybe it's just the next Switch is just the bigger one, and it does cost more money. I mean, what's it going to cost? $400, $450-ish? I mean, that seems expensive, $450. $400?
Yeah.
I think that's on par with the rest of the stuff out right now.
$450 seems expensive. I see a world where it's over $400, though. I mean, we could be talking what was it? The 3DS when it launched was $279, something like that, right?
It was too expensive.
I know, but it was not a traditional pricing scheme.
No, I don't remember what it was, but they backtracked on that.
I know that's not the point I'm trying to make. I was saying that they've done it before where it's been a weird price that's not a 0 or a 9 at the end. So it's possible that this could be $419. They know they can't go to $450. I think if they go to
$424.95.
They go to $450. People are gonna go, but I can buy a Switch or I can buy a PS5 for $500. And when it's on sale,
$50 more.
If we're on sale, we're talking the same price. And I don't really care about handheld, so we'll do that. And if it's going at $400,
well, no, that's not even true. You can get a PS5 disc,
digital
for $400.
Yeah,
they're $400.
To go $450, I'm assuming they know would be too high. I think $400 is a good price if it is a PS4 or even better yet, a PS4 Pro types console in your hands.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't honestly see that happening either. Best case scenario, we're talking the launch day Xbox, where it's just
and that's what I'm saying.
It's it's marginally better than Xbox 360, but not terribly.
Yeah, I mean they were better, but I mean it's not I don't think we're gonna get PS4 Pro or I don't think we're going there. But
If we want to play this comparison game, the Switch as it stands is very similar to like an Xbox 360 generation.
yeah,
Like if you play BioShock on the Switch, it's like the same experience, give or take a bit of love to the Xbox 360 version. So like, and that was a 360 game, so that's why I bring it up. Like, yeah, going from a 360 to like an Xbox One or a PS4 would be natural, I think, for Nintendo, like in terms of the graphic.
yeah. I mean, like I said, that's all I want. I'm good.
Yeah.
If we can get, I don't care. Like, even if it's still like under a PS4 a little bit, like as long as we're getting that type of, like, that's way more than I even expected. Like realistically expected. You know what I mean?
Realistically, yeah. I mean,
like that's what I wanted, but like, you know, it's Nintendo, so it's like, we're not getting that. It'll be something weird. But then you got to think about this too. If it does have that type of power and then still has this like DLSS stuff that everybody keeps talking about, like we could have something real special here, man. This could look crazy and it could run really good.
No, I see. I think you're looking at it a little bit optimistically, which is fair, but I think it's more like with the optimization, with the DLSS, we're looking at that. Like, because those series of consoles could get to 4K, if I'm not wrong about that, right? Could get to 4K, the right game, the right setting.
Yeah, like right? Docked. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not the Switch. Docked. What are you talking about? I'm talking about.
I thought you meant like a Switch with that.
No.
It's 1080p.
No. In real life, the PS4 and those things could get to 4K.
Yes.
With the right settings and the right game.
I believe so. Yeah. Right. PS4 Pro did 4K.
I'm not. You were the one who has one. You have one, don't you?
I don't have one anymore. God, I can't remember.
But you did. You had one. So yeah, that was
4K, right? Yes, it had to be.
So like, I'm saying that. So like, why did I even bring that up? I can't remember why I brought it up. But like, so I guess to say that it's possible if we're talking that kind of graphical power.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we're gonna get quite like that's the high end, right? The PS4 could get on the high end, could get 4K. I think the Switch at best is gonna max out at the low end of those consoles, like 4K for like, I don't know, maybe with the LSS, maybe could do 4K on like a game, like a 2D platformer that has very little, like an indie 2D platformer.
Let's say,
but not like Zelda.
Like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe type thing.
No,
optimal. But that's the thing. Even. The Switch can run that game flawless. It makes it perfect. It runs 60 frames per second, 1080p.
And I'm sure it's pushing every ounce of power that thing's got to do. So you don't think,
let's just say a new Switch could just bump that up to 4K 60?
No, I think it's going to look better.
A game that's that optimized for the system?
No, I don't think so.
I think that would be the one. Like those types of games.
Because you're forgetting about the middle ground. Like there's 1330p as well, whatever that is. 14, whatever that middle ground is, the 2K, if you will. There's 2K, and I think Mario Kart will go to 2K. 1440, there it is. Yeah. And then, like I said, I think 4K is going to be reserved to, like, indies that are just, like, small platformer, like a Celeste type game or something along that effect. Maybe some Devolver Digital titles will be
a little
4K.
Bit more than that.
Very few Nintendo games will be 4K native. I bet you none of them will, honestly. Maybe if the thing's capable of it, at best they'll do 2K. Some of the game.
Well, I mean, and that's
backwards stuff. Like, Switch stuff could be upscaled to 2K.
Yeah, that's kind of what we get with the Switch now, anyway. They say 1080p dock, 720 handheld, and we don't get that ever.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, 2K is twice.
I'm saying it's the same
1080p.
thing. They could come in and say, "Oh, it's 4K," but you know, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. If they say 4K, it won't be 4K. It's just saying it can go up to 4K. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if that's the biggest thing. Like, is the power of this thing that they're talking about actual power, or is it DLSS getting it to that power?
I hate to break it to everybody who thinks this thing's going to be a PS4 in your hands. But it's not that. It's going to be something better than Xbox 360, but it's going to be somewhere in between the 360 and the One.
I mean, we're hearing it's equivalent.
As far as hardware that you're holding and you can touch is concerned.
Okay.
With software and modern optimization, we're talking some games will go to 4K. They're going to be able to take a technology. This is what Nintendo does. They're going to be able to take a technology that came out in 2014 2015 for a home console. Put that inside fit it inside the guts of a Switch shell. Use modern technology, virtual technology to upscale it, and that's what we're gonna get that's what we're gonna see the final product in dock mode. Handheld gonna be 720 screen. Everything handheld 720. No matter if the game's 4K compatible or not, it's gonna be 720 in your hands because that's battery life, baby. You're not playing 4K games handheld. You're crazy if you think you are.
Well, you don't need to.
You don't. But some people think they want it and they just don't know what they want because they're silly. They're being silly.
Like what's nuts is like watch a YouTube video on your phone at 720p. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, you can. Well, in the right screen,
fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
but it looks fine. Like,
but that's the OLED. But see what you're saying there is exactly what the OLED is proving to people. Those people is that 720 screen. It's lower resolution than the original Switch tablet, and significantly lower resolution than the Switch Lite screen. Yet you look at the Switch Lite, the OG Switch, and the Switch OLED, and it's not even a comparison. Resolution is a fallacy. You don't need extra resolution.
What's this? This is only 800p.
It's only 800p.
It looks sick.
Which is essentially essentially 720p. I mean, we're talking.
Yeah. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead looks fucking beautiful on this thing.
And by the way,
like that's the one game I'm always like, that's the game that looks sick on here.
I've been told like you're crazy, GB, thinking it's not going to be at least 1080p on the next screen. I'm saying you're crazy. Because you don't understand what that's going to do to your battery life. You have no idea what that's going to do to your battery life. That is so many more pixels to push on a screen that doesn't need those extra pixels. The OLED screen confirms that. You could slap the exact OLED panel on the next Switch, and I will be happy no matter what it does. That OLED screen is beautiful, man.
It is. Okay. But what about this? Is this a thing? Because I don't know. Let's just say they did put a 1080p screen in there, right? Is there any way for this DLSS stuff to make it not work as hard to save that battery life to get a 1080p screen in there? Just to say there's a 1080p screen. If they can do it and then optimize it in there with some type of software to make it work better.
You cannot optimize battery. You can optimize battery.
You can. It's been done. The Switch
the modern phones do it all the time. And that's probably what the Switch took inspiration from is the modern phone industry does that. But you can't make battery that is not there. Like our battery tech is so far behind our power tech. So our power is gaining and gaining and gaining. Your computers, my big bold fat PC, are drawing more and more power. And for home consoles and computers that draw from the wall, that doesn't matter because you're pulling from the wall. Just your electric bill is going to be. As far as these handheld consoles and phones, they're trying to put smaller and smaller batteries. It's like the competition is like how big of a battery can you get that is the smallest. Like,
I mean, and that's the thing about the Steam Deck too, the battery life.
Like you could get a phone like 5 years ago with 5,000 milliamps hours, and just keep that number in mind, 5,000. But nowadays you can get like a phone with like 3,800 milliamps that does the same kind of performance as that 5,000 one did a few years ago. It's like how much smaller can you get these batteries to that with using software optimization and hardware stuff and other stuff, whatever they do. I'm not an expert on this, but whatever they do to make that work, the batteries the battery tech itself, lithium ion is not changing a whole lot. It's more software optimization.
I mean, and like I was saying, the Steam Deck has that problem. That's the problem. It's the battery life. If there is an issue with it, it looks great, runs fantastic. I mean, it gets hot too. I mean, these little fans right here, man. There is some serious hot air blowing out of these fans when you're playing. Like I said, I always use Red Dead as the example because it looks so damn good on there. But Red Dead 2 makes this thing get quite warm, and you got about hour and a half, maybe. I don't know, maybe 2 hours, depending.
Yeah,
but
Nintendo's not going to do that.
No, they're not going to put something out that has
2 hours battery life. Not going to happen.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Not coming from 6. They're coming from 6, and now they're going to go down to 2, or just because you get a little bit more pixels that you can't tell the difference. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Geeb. I think we've covered that enough. I want to put some things out in front of you here. Okay. I've created what I guess is just another game. we just play a game every week now. It's not really a game though. I have made 3 scenarios, and everybody in the live chat, you guys can play along if you want to. I've made 3 scenarios. Okay. Each of these scenarios is going to be when the Switch 2 will be released. Now, It could be none of these. I just made these I made these today based on just based on the information we have right now about the games, this and that. Ooh, I do want to bring that up too before we get into that. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. Maybe it's just because I haven't been to Nintendo's website in a while, but I know that's not the case. They changed a lot of stuff. So you used to be able to go on Nintendo's website and they would just have there was like upcoming games.
Okay.
And it used to be like if there was a game coming out, summer, and we didn't know the date, it would just say summer. And
Right.
if it was coming out the next year, it would just have that year's date. You know what I mean? And it was third-party stuff, first-party stuff, anything that had been talked about, really. That's not the way it is anymore. It's completely different. They took everything out, like even the Peach game and Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, the remake, not even talked about on their website anyway. Not even a little bit. So they took out all that stuff and they put in a section that's just called what is it called? It's like the calendar or the release schedule. Release schedule, I think, is what it is. So they don't have like upcoming games. It's just release schedule, and it only goes to November of this year. That's it. It's very weird. I just want to bring. I don't know. I don't know if that means anything, but I thought that was strange. I don't know why they've changed it to that. It is kind of weird that they've just taken everything from next year, or even third party stuff. That's like, because we know a lot of stuff that's coming next year, but it's all off their website now.
The Peach game coming next year.
Yeah, and the Luigi's Mansion remake. I mean,
yeah,
the third party stuff too. Like, it's weird that it's all just gone. Okay, I don't know if that means anything. We're not going to put the tinfoil hat on for that, but it is interesting.
I can.
No, God, don't. Please don't. No,
here.
please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. God, please don't do it. No, God, don't do it. Why? Why? It's so dangerous. Good God, it's dangerous. Okay, anyway. So we're going to try to figure out.
Don't play with knives, kids.
No. God, this is like weeks in a row now. I hate that. Okay. We're going to play this game. The game is, when is the Nintendo Switch 2 going to come out? I have three scenarios.
There's probably music playing right now. I probably put some music in.
Oh, did you?
I did last week too.
Okay, wonderful.
In the edit, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go with scenario number 1. Okay. Scenario number 1 is the Switch 2 comes out holiday this year.
Yeah. What's my options here? Could just say what.
Let's go over this one first. We'll go down the list. Now here's how this could happen. Now again. These are made up scenarios, so nobody get crazy. Geeb, I can see you. I can see you. I can see you moving around in your chair, very antsy about me saying that it's going to come out holiday 2023.
Let me at him.
Give me a minute. Okay, now here's how this could potentially happen. Now tomorrow we have what? Everybody 1-2 Switch. We've got the new Joy-Cons dropping tomorrow.
Yep.
That doesn't change. So
I actually didn't even realize that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next game after that Nintendo has on their release schedule on their website is Pikmin 1 and 2. Or I'm sorry, Pikmin 4 on July 21st, correct?
Yes.
So we have the 1st of July to the 20th of July where nothing is going on for Nintendo. Yeah. So next month, in this scenario, they announce the Switch 2 next month, okay?
Okay.
And they also give us a taste of some of the games that will be released on the Switch 2. Very, very minimal information, but we probably see some Prime 4 stuff. We see maybe a glimpse of a couple scenes of a new Mario game. That's all we get for now, right?
All right.
So then we get Pikmin 4. And then we got Disney Illusion Island coming next month, too. You guys, don't forget about Disney Illusion Island. That's going to be a good one. 28th of next month. Looking forward to that. So August, we have nothing going on in August for Nintendo. So in this scenario, during August, our pre-orders for the system would come up, right? The next month, okay?
Yeah. It's almost July. You're talking next month we're getting pre-orders for.
No, I'm talking August, we're getting pre-orders. Next month, it will be announced in the first 20 days of next month in this scenario.
I'm saying technically right now, it currently is July. It's a couple days away. So like
Okay,
in like
so
a month, in like 4 weeks.
Within the next 23 days, 22 days, whatever. Yes. So the Switch 2 would be announced in August. Pre-orders would open up. September 22nd, we have Pikmin 1 and 2 physical coming out, right? So in this scenario, we're getting the Direct this year, at that point, we would get a Direct in September, okay? But we would get a Direct featuring Switch 2 games coming out with the system and after the system, going forward next year. And just so everybody knows too, they also announced very early, right when we knew this, that it's backwards compatible, and all these games that you're going to be buying, you can buy all those games, and if you buy the new Switch, you're going to be able to play them on that
your
too.
Account will move.
Yes. So that is why these games, and this is why this is all possible, and it's not going to kill them. You know
I was
what I mean?
about ready to rip you on that. That was the one flaw you had in your story until you said that.
It's back. No, sorry. Meant to tell you that early. So, yeah. Now it's sounding good, huh?
I mean, it's sounding like a possibility. It's not,
it's not happening. I know this is not the one, but I wanted
it's
to
not impossible, but your description does make this not impossible.
Okay, so then we go into October. We got Detective Pikachu again, going to play on your new Switch. Mario Wonder the 20th, going to play on your new Switch. November, we got WarioWare on the 3rd. We got RPG on the 17th, and then on November 24th, which is the last Friday in November, the Switch 2 releases.
That's just such a short window.
It's a very short window. It's so 6
short.
months. It's 6 months.
It feels even shorter than that. I guess
it's 6 months.
Yeah.
So that would be scenario 1. That is coming this year.
You know what? I'll just say this about it. I'm not going to rip you anymore. In fact, I'm going to help your argument.
Switch corner. You know me too well.
Drip just basically making his next YouTube video. That's exactly what this is, Alex.
Exactly what this is. Don't worry.
So basically, Nintendo actually kind of made this possible by, in their last Direct, not having any real heavy hitters besides Mario Wonder. That's the big one. But an RPG as well as I think,
some people,
as well as I was Mr. RPG last week. As well as I think the game's going to do RPG. It's not a heavy hitter. It's still a remake. So there's only one real heavy hitter. Pikmin we already knew about. That doesn't count. Mario was announced. That was it.
Yeah. So
friends,
that would be the scenario.
Lots of third party stuff happening. A couple different remakes, but as far as like what a Nintendo first party stuff was, big old. What is Nintendo trying to sell us at their Nintendo Direct? We had one big Mario 2D game, and that was it. So they leave the door open by in next month another Direct with the Switch 2 being announced, Mario Wonder being a dual release.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it.
It's just weird. It's weird. Yes, but no, because there's another flaw. Again, we know this is not happening, but we're just having fun. Mario Wonder is coming out. That would mean Mario Wonder is coming out just weeks before the Switch 2 is coming out, and that makes no sense. It would come out on launch day with. So that's not gonna your story unless you change it to the same date as Mario Wonder announcement.
Oh, I like
the Switch coming out. That's what they'd have to do because there's no way
that works. Actually, there's no way. I don't even know why I didn't do that in the first place. That works way better.
Yeah,
so it comes out.
But it makes the window even smaller, and that's not good. Though.
Not that much, though. It's 1 month shorter at that point. It's about 1 month shorter.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, there's that. So.
Next scenario, we're
going to say mid-year next year.
So the Switch 2 could be. This is scenarios where the Switch 2 gets released in middle of 2024.
We're going to call it April next year, okay? We're going to call it April.
Let's hear
April, May. But for my scenario here, we're going to go April. Okay, so July, in this scenario, where is it? 2. Okay, in July, we get nothing. We don't hear any new stuff. There may be, some little games here, there, whatever. We don't really do anything in July. August, again, we're not really hearing anything. Now, in September of this year,
do you remember?
We get an event. But it's not a Direct. It is a full-on event talking about and introducing the Switch 2.
I'm sorry, what was the month again? I was busy singing
September of this year. So instead of getting a Direct, we're going to get the Switch 2. We're gonna get the features. They're gonna tell us about it. Again, we'll see some little clips of like, a Mario game, probably other games. Same thing, same kind of release, but we'll get that in September. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Then October, nothing. We're gonna be waiting. We're gonna get all the same stuff. It's gonna be basically the same thing up until we'll see Dark Moon in January, and then we're gonna see Peach in February, and then in February we're gonna get another Direct, and we're gonna get new games. We're gonna get a bunch of new stuff. Peach is gonna be that last thing for the Switch, kind of the end right there. So we'll see a bunch of Switch 2 games here, more stuff about the Switch 2, maybe a Switch 2 special edition, something like that. Just whatever. That's going to be in February, okay?
And the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess port double pack will come. Everything will be great.
Yeah. Yes. In 4K, it's going to be wonderful.
VR.
Okay, so
screens.
Then that's basically it. We're going to get the same general stuff we saw in scenario 1 in different times. And this thing drops, we're going to say sometime in the end of April, beginning of May, sometime in there. Okay.
Okay.
So that gives us our regular scheduled directs at that point. That gives us a September one that's not actually direct because they're not going to announce a bunch of new games for the Switch because they're announcing the new Switch. And
they will announce games for the Switch family.
Yes. Okay. That's fine. We'll see some stuff, but this is more to talk about the system itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's basically scenario 2. We get it in April. We'll say April, May. Now this is the one that this last one is probably the one I think is going to happen. We get some bonuses in this one though. We get some bonuses. It's going to take longer to get to the Switch. This is going to be holiday 2024. But we get some bonuses. So everything happens tomorrow, and then July comes, we get Pikmin 4, we get Disney Illusion Island. But in this scenario, next month, we also get the announcement of the Switch Lite OLED. In this scenario, we actually get the Switch Lite OLED.
I love how in the most likely option that the most likely Switch 2 option that you put out here, you're like a politician throwing in your garbage in your bills that you're writing. You just threw
you catch that?
You wheeled your garbage right into this most likely option that. And next month we will all have all Switch OLEDs in our hands as well.
I just want you to know this is not politics. This is just business.
You get your universal health care, but you also have to enslave people.
Okay. This is not politics. This is just a Switch Lite OLED.
This is the bill. You must sign this bill if you want.
If you want the Switch 2, you must sign this bill. Okay. Anyway, next month, Switch Lite OLED is announced, right?
Yeah,
it's announced. Then again, we're gonna go to August. We'll get our pre-orders for the Switch Lite.
All right.
And then we will move to September, where we will get a direct. And at the end of September, the very end of September, possibly early October, the Switch Lite OLED will release.
Yeah.
It'll be a very quick window like the last one was. Super quick. In and out. This thing will be out. But we're also going to get that direct too. We're going to get a regular scheduled September direct. More games to kind of finish out the rest of the year. Who knows what we'll see there. Maybe Prime. Maybe, probably not Mario. But we'll see some stuff.
Yeah.
So then October, we got Detective Pikachu. We got Mario. November, we're not really going to see anything, just the games, whatever else they may have announced. December and January. December's nothing. January, I still think Dark Moon is when that's going to come out. I think February is Peach. I mean, Valentine's Day.
I'll tell you this. I don't like your dates for either of those two. I think Peach is coming much later. We don't know anything about it. And the fact that it's going to come in February, whether right now we know nothing about it, I feel like that's fast.
We'll see. Okay. I think Valentine's Day.
It's not crazy to think that the Peach game did they say 2024 for that one?
Yeah.
I think it's a holiday game. I think it's a dead set holiday game.
I don't think they'd talk about it this early if it was that far away.
No, because then there's like 3 directs next year. There's always multiple directs.
Well, okay.
They're gonna feature in every direct next year.
Yeah, that's not the point. That's not the point.
No,
so
I know, but I'm just saying, like those.
at this point, we're getting into the basics. We're gonna have a basic year. It's gonna be a direct in February. We'll get new games. I mean that's basically it. May, we get to May, and the Switch 2 is announced. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we get the lead up. We get all our stuff. We get a September direct again, and we get the Switch 2 released in November of 2024. So those are my 3 scenarios.
So
Do you have
just
any questions?
there's a lot of information, but I don't want you to go through all of it again. What I want you to do is give us the first contact of the Switch 2 for all 3 options, and then give us the release date for all 3 options.
Okay. For option 1, the announcement is next month. It's in July.
July of 2023, and then when is it actually going to be in our hands?
We get it on, what was it? I said November 24th.
Of this year, 2023.
Of this year, 2023.
Okay, and it's rapid
That's scenario 1.
Scenario 2.
Scenario 2 is we get it announced September. We get it announced in September. In their place of a direct, we get it announced in September, and then it releases in April or May of next year.
Okay. And option 3.
And then the last one is going to be we don't even hear about the Switch 2 until next May. And we get it November of next year.
Nintendo will put a tweet out there. It'll be like, it's gonna be May, and like just JT's gonna be holding like a Switch open.
Hey, I'd be down.
May.
So
I think it's pretty obvious here which is the most likely option, and like by a large margin, is that the one that's gonna take the longest to develop.
Oh yeah, the one with the Switch
3.
Lite OLED for sure.
I gotta say though, with some alterations, your version 2, we said this on the phone earlier. So the truth is always somewhere in the middle, and I feel like with option 2. With some finagling there, I think that's actually very possible.
Yeah, for middle of next year, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Too.
Like I would say maybe the February direct next year could. Let's just say that's the first contact where we get an announcement.
Okay, so where did I say first contact on?
You
that
said
one?
September this year. I don't see a world where in 2023 we hear anything about it. But in 2024 early, it's very possible.
Well, the only reason I say that is because the same thing as I said the first one. We know this is already backwards compatible. So yeah, it may hurt system sales, but it's not going to hurt game sales. Like buy your games. It's cool. Like when you get a new Switch, they play on there too. All good. Keep buying the games. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, maybe they'll do it before the holiday, but I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying.
The question really comes down to, will Nintendo release a console, a brand new one, a successor to their most successful console of all time? Will they release that mid-year, not wait for a holiday season? I think it's possible though, because like, listen, you start that train early. You start that sell train.
It's not like people aren't going to buy it for Christmas. You know what I mean?
And then you there's a chance for it does go in low stock for some reason. There's a chance again at Christmas time for another reboot of these things.
Yeah, well,
I want version 2.
Yeah,
I don't. Version 1's too soon for me. It's too soon for me. It's as funny as that is because we've talked about this for so long. We want this next console. It's funny to say it's too soon for me, but I'm so happy with the OLED. Like, I want more power, don't get me wrong, but I'm just that happy with the OLED that I still think this year is too soon. I think version 2 with my alteration of just say the February direct as where we're here first contact, and we get it sometime in summertime.
Yeah, maybe move it back to the end of May.
Actually, it ships out July, late June.
Okay.
All
right.
I want this option. I think if there's any of these 3 the most likely, it's by far still version 3.
I think so too. But listen, I need this from you. I need you to tell me that my scenario for version 1's not terrible.
No, it's
pretty good, right?
You remember what I said? I said I want to stop from ripping you and actually.
Yeah, I know.
I
saw you start moving around in your seat when I said holiday 2023. I could see you getting angry already. But that is very. I mean, it's not going to happen. Let's be totally honest about this. It's that is not happening. But that scenario is possible. It's very possible.
You know what? The most unlikely situation of all of your situations are not like the most unlikely thing that you had said that's going to happen in these scenarios. Your OLED light is not.
Dude, you're wrong on It's going to be announced next month. It's going to be so cool. Can't wait.
It's not coming, man. Not happening. It won't fit in the tree. They can't price it. If we're going with the Switch family thing and the Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever, it's going to be that $400 price tag, and then the tree, $50, $300. There's no
$250, $200.
I just don't see that. I don't see it. I think it's just, why would they do that? Why would you buy the Switch Lite OLED for $250 when you can buy
I
regular
told you
Switch
last
for
week.
$300? I just don't see it.
Because I told you last week. This is them bringing the Switch Lite up with the OLED, and then when the new one does come out, those two stay, and the other ones sail off into the sunset. They can't have that many different Switches in production at one time.
But we said that about the Switch.
We did
too, and that never went away. It makes no sense. Why nobody's gonna buy the Switch regular for $300 when for $350 you can buy the OLED? Besides family, I think family, there's still a market for kids. Like I love little Jimmy enough to buy him a Switch that docks, but I don't love him enough for $350. $300's good for me. Jimmy's gonna have to suffice. Or gonna have to.
I understand, but I'm telling you.
But like for the light, for the handheld, that's just a handheld. Listen, no parent's gonna say, "Yeah, we'll get him the $50 one for extra just because we love him that much." We're
If
like,
it's
no,
the only option, they will.
If it's the only option, but that now I don't see the OLED Switch Lite just doesn't fit in my eyes. When you have such the Switch Lite as it stands is so perfect, size. In price,
I love the size. I love the form factor. I love everything.
It's perfect as is.
If it had a bigger OLED screen, I would still be using a Lite.
I don't see it. How about this? How about Nintendo fixes online and sharing on accounts and everything, and then like it's actually useful to play in a Switch Lite and switch over to your regular Switch.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Well, then I'd really want one with an OLED screen.
Yeah,
I mean, man, you do know. There's no way you're gonna argue this. You know that OLED screen makes a difference. Handheld, I would love it.
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a worthy product. It'd be a very worthy product. Nintendo's going to go, I don't see the value in offering that option where we can sell the Switch Lite as it stands for $200 and make bank on it. It's profit. Nintendo's about profit, man. Not about giving the consumer the best experience. We know that. We know this. They don't care about the consumer. They made the nunchucks rectangles. They said, F your hands, hold a rectangle.
Whatever. Listen, it's coming next month. It's going to be awesome.
I don't really mean that. I think they're actually somewhat ergonomic, but I just thought that was funny.
They kind of remind me of the, they're kind of this shape, actually.
Yeah, all right. And get those rubber grips. Those that you're holding the. Sorry for the audio people. You're holding that grip for the
grip for
Joy-Cons.
yeah, they're bigger than that.
Actually, hold on. Actually, yeah. I don't know why'd I go back to the Wii? We could just look at the freaking Joy-Cons. They said F your hands. Here are Joy-Cons.
No,
that works much better.
Well,
that works much better for my argument.
Nintendo and comfortable stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. The gamepad was nice and comfortable.
It was all right. It was a little thin in my opinion. I think it needed more bulk.
God, the gamepad, it's a beast.
I think it needed more. It's not as beastly as a controller would be in your hand. It's big, but it's not as ergonomic as a controller. That's for sure. Don't catch me wrong here. It's still ergonomically sound. Just could be better. For you know me, I have Mr. Sensitive hand. Anything hurts. I can't dude, my hands are so effed up. I have a hard time making I just didn't even flip you off. I was just messing with my fingers.
All right, man. Yeah, fine. I see where we're going. This
now screenshot that, post to Twitter, and call me out. Gee, that flipped off drip.
Do it. Start Twitter beef. Do it.
For real though. You guys, anybody who knows what the issues is, I would like to know. I can't go to a doctor because
it's I saw a commercial for that. I think
I can't it's like maybe arthritis. I don't think it's arthritis. How can I have arthritis already? But I did. I mean, I was a drummer for a long time. It's possible. Am. It's possible. But yeah, I have a hard time with finger movements and that really hurts my hands when we're unergonomic situation while gaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, drip. Wow, we did a thing. This was a very good one.
Yeah, I love this podcast. This was great. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. And one more time, thanks to Tomtoc for sponsoring the episode.
Tomtoc. Not thank you, the bugs who are still smashed on my beer that didn't allow me to drink it.
Yeah, that's
it's gross. Literally on the part where you put your lips in.
Dude.
It's
I understand.
I won't waste the beer. I'll wash it off later.
Yeah.
but
You
I
gotta clean
cannot.
it up.
I wasn't gonna flick it off and take a sip for the podcast.
I would not
You
have
guys
been
aren't worth
okay with that. Yeah, dude,
It's
I
smashed.
would not have been okay with that.
It's like it melted or something. It's so weird. It's if you can see. We'll talk about this.
I
in the
see
after
it.
show.
No, I can see it.
We'll talk about this on the after show. Thanks
right.
for listening, guys. Listeners of the podcast, thank you guys so much. If you're in the stream, still hanging around, we'll talk to you guys in the after show. If you're hanging out in the stream or watching this on YouTube, please make sure to hop on to your audio apps and download this podcast on the audio apps. We don't make a dime. I decided not to go with the ads for that.
Good.
So we don't make a dime on the audio stuff. I just want it to grow better, man. I want the audio stuff to go better than what it has been. So not that I'm not ungrateful or anything like that. I'm just asking you guys to please also listen to this podcast on audio platforms. If you missed any of this live stream, or if you don't like, if you want to take this video on the go with you, and you don't do YouTube Premium, it's on the audio side of things on YouTube, music, and Spotify. You can watch this podcast. So keep that in mind. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.